Soulmask is releasing its 1.0 update on April 10th, along with an incredible new DLC to go along with it. And the best part is, this DLC will be free for the first month after launch, which is really amazing considering all the content that it includes. So rather than settling on land like the original game, this new Egyptian-inspired DLC allows you to build massive airships to establish your home in the sky, and manage your tribesmen, fight bosses, explore unique temples and pyramids, and so much more. It's a whole new map, even larger than the base game. We're talking over 500 hours of content, and you can play it all from scratch without needing to play the base game first. So if you like what you see and are interested, then be sure to wishlist it and check it out through the link in the description. And a big thanks to Soulmask for sponsoring this video and giving me early access. So with that said, today I'm going to be exploring more of the map along with doing a couple of boss fights to show you some of the new masks and items that you can obtain. And to top it off, we will be doing it all in the massive airship that I built in my last video. And if all goes well, then I may even try to take this thing into battle and raid another airship. So stick around to the end if you want to see that, and as always, sit back, get cozy, and let's start the adventure. So after my last video, I did some upgrades to my airship, as well as recruiting some tribesmen to help me fight some of the bosses today. And to recruit the tribesmen, I had to unlock the tribesman recruitment ability from my mask, and I basically started with the Celestial Wings mask, which has the ability to fly. So if I activate that here, we now have the ability active, and I can press V, and here we go. We have a pair of wings to be able to fly around as long as the mask has enough energy. So to unlock this ability and start recruiting the tribesmen, I had to go to a mysterious ruins to find a battered mysterious stone table, which allowed me to repair the mask's ability. And then I basically went to a bunch of other camps, like this barbarian camp over here, to start actually recruiting the tribesmen. So just a little bit of background there. And then in preparation for taking out the first boss, I had to go do an Ancient Ruins dungeon over here to obtain a warship container that we need to fight the first boss. But I actually had a lot of fun in this dungeon. I thought it was a very enjoyable experience. So to get warmed up before we actually take on the first boss, I figured it could be a fun experience for me to show you what one of these dungeon temples is like, and take some of my tribesmen down there and do a bit of fighting. So with that, let's go ahead and board the airship and head in that direction. So right now I have 3 tribesmen set as recruits so that they can help me if one of them comes up the ramp, and then I can just retract the little ramp there. That was one of the upgrades I did since my last video for my airship. I also put a protective shield on the airship and a few other things. So we can go ahead and pilot it. I also made it really fast, added a few more speed sails, and we are cruising. But check out this map. It is absolutely gorgeous. Look at the render distance, the locations. It is really quite an experience. Super awesome, and I love that we can just disable the UI here to make things look absolutely beautiful when you're flying the ship. It is definitely quite the experience. There's just so much to explore here. So this is the Ancient Ruins dungeon. So the entrance is in the front. I'm just going to sail my ship right alongside it. We have plenty of fuel in the ship to actually keep it in the air for quite a long time. And now that we're parked, let's go ahead and enter the temple. So I'll just lower the ramp on the side of the upper deck here to make my way down to the sand. And this is the entrance to the temple. And just make sure my tribesmen are here. I'll go ahead and have all 3 of them for this. Why not? Have a bronze spear, and we'll see what this thing is like. So I can hit F on my spear as well. I can also lock onto targets and things, but I kind of prefer the unlocked method and just kind of freeforming it. Yeah, this is crazy. When we have all 3 of them, this is going to be super easy. Combat in this game actually is very nice. Very similar to the base game, of course, but I do enjoy it. I really do. All right. We can block, use quick stabs. This one's parried. Now it's going to go for other ones. My tribesmen are doing a great job too, parrying them, timing everything correctly. All right, so there's the first level, and these guys will all drop a bunch of loot, all kinds of different things, gauntlets, salt, corrosion tanks, just tons of crazy stuff, refined bandages, throwing axes. So the loot is like actually useful, which is really nice. The corrosion tanks as well. It's like a sealed, super corrosive liquid you can throw at stuff, which helps you during this dungeon. I'm not going to use them because my character is a little more upgraded by now, so I don't really need them, so I'm not going to loot a whole lot here. They do drop a lot of useful things. Let's see how I can parry it. Oop, not quite there. Can roll out of the way here. All right. Perfect. I do have, oh gosh, I just got completely stunned there. So I do have to be careful. I'm still learning how to parry a little bit more. All right, let's now continue a bit deeper into the dungeon here. Got a few more bandits in here. Try to block them. There we go. There's a perfect parry. You can see here, I can use this special attack after a perfect parry to just instantly finish them off. It's very satisfying. Get this one here. Perfect. All right, looks like we have a box over here. I'll just show you guys kind of what's in these. In this one, we have a bunch of things here. Bronze ingots, rope. The main thing here as well, the sunstones. So we can definitely still be using those because that's what we need to energize the mask, which is always useful. So definitely always be picking up sunstones when you come across them. All right, so now it just keeps going down further, and I really like how the dunes just kind of completely encompass things. We're leaving footprints in the sand and all of it. It just feels very grounded, very realistic. I really enjoy it. Yeah, between the three of us, or myself and my three tribesmen, we are really doing well. They're complaining about being a little hungry and thirsty. I actually forgot to give them some more water before we came in here. Hopefully they'll be okay. They do have some food. But yeah, they're pretty tough, all things considered, especially in comparison to some other games that I've played, so they're not too bad to manage. There we go. Got the perfect parry on that one. Use the special attack here. All right, so now we are presented with a crossroads here a bit. We could start by going left, which I think is what I'm going to do. I don't think this is a trap, so yeah, I can stand on this floor. But yeah, let's go ahead and go left in here and work our way around. This place is just huge, though. Again, this is just a sense of how big these things are. And this is like one of the first ones you'll come across. It's a very starter-friendly one. All right, so we have these like electronic shockwave things that we gotta look out for. You can see they don't do too much damage. You can just hold left click there, try to take these ones out. Perfect. And you can see those ones again drop the sun crystals for the energy that we need. All kinds of good stuff, as well as metal chunks, metal plates. They really do drop good loot. All right, so we'll just keep going further down and see what we come across. We have a big room with a bunch of them in here. This one's got a lot of good loot as well. Some of them point lasers at you, some of them swing things, some of them fight with swords. It's kind of a fun mix-up from just fighting, you know, more like human scavengers. So now that this room is cleared out, it is another crossroads. We have 3 more directions we can go. So it's just endless. I don't even know if I've explored this entire thing. All right, and this is where you'll find the piece of a broken portal. So if you explore all the rooms in these dungeons and things, you'll get parts to make portals. We also have another box in here, and that's gonna have some more useful bits. All kinds of cool things. Corrosive arrows as well. It'd be really good on those metal mechanical enemies and things. Gear durability mod to be able to mod armor and things. So really nice there. And we could take this one. May as well. I think these ones are slightly smaller. Ooh, we have to activate a mechanism to unlock this door. Okay. Well, we'll see if we can find that. let's go through this one then. Looks like this might be slightly related to it. I see some sort of like a sun gear on the back there. And this must be, yeah, there's the mechanism. So we operated that now. We want to head through this door, I believe. The one straight ahead, and we have quite a few chests. We have a stone table. We can use this one as well to upgrade our mask and swap it out and all kinds of things there. We have another ancient relic here open, all kinds of good loot in there. And then a larger box here. Let's see what this one's got. Ooh, yeah, look at that. Durability mod there. We have the Lost Energy Sunstones. This is great. So all kinds of useful things in these. Now I'm going to make my way up. I believe it was just straight out this way. And then try to maybe take one of the other crossroads that was up at the room up top here. And see what that one has. So yeah, maybe I'll try to take this middle door since we went left last time at this first crossroads here. Oh my goodness! There you go. There's an example of a trap. Need to be careful. And the interesting bit here is that opening up there actually closes behind us. So even though we can actually climb in this game, you are not able to climb the walls here or escape with the flying ability of our mask. So really the only way out of here is to drop down. Let's see here. It's going to take a lot of damage. This is in a room that we already were in. That's the mechanism room. I'll just go ahead and bandage, and hopefully my tribesmen will find me again. But yeah, you do have to be careful. Watch out for those little trap doors and things in the floor. I really love how these were done though. And this one just had some of these little mechanical enemies. Take one of these ones out. Mechanical core, yeah. So we'll take that one out. Head down here. It looks like we have another door. All right, so we have... What is this thing in here? Ah, quite a big one. They attack slow though, so you can see we kind of have some time to react and parry them and all that good stuff. There we go. I'm perfectly blocking. This is great. Awesome. And again, that one's even got arms module, stamina maintenance, and these are crystals that we can also input into our mask in order to upgrade it as well. And then we also have a lot of different directions in here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 different directions that we can go. So maybe we'll choose, again, the leftmost one here, and we're just gonna make our rounds, and I will let you know if I find anything out of the usual or anything like that. In here, again, we have another piece of the portal there, and then going through this door that is straight ahead and toward this yellow marker. You can see it kind of gives us this yellow marker as little waypoints to get deeper into the temple. We also have a respawn point here that can be activated during a period of time as a temporary situation there, which is nice. Open up this door. Oh yeah, we've got a pretty big room over here. So it looks like we got to take out this big guy here. In which case, I'll probably want my bow. Yeah, that kind of has a pretty big shock radius. It also spawns a bunch of these little ads and stuff. So I will just try to keep focusing on the main boss up here. And then bandaging as well, so we don't get too low. And I'll let my NPCs deal with all the ads. You can see I just keep getting knocked back, completely stunned here. Because I'm walking into this red zone. You have to fight the boss within this red circle, and you can't leave until it's done, which adds an additional bit of challenge. Alright, it's almost out, and I do have a pretty good bow here. Not too bad. Looks like my NPCs are dealing okay with these little ads. Go ahead and help them with them a little bit. So that mech boss fight guy there has some other stuff to loot here as well. Some metal parts, some more green crystals, an ancient holy relic key. So now I'm going to continue onward, continuing through the temple here. Looks like we go up and then through these doors. We can hear all the wind in these halls. It's kind of crazy. So we have quite a bit of stuff here in this room at the end. It looks like if we open this right here, yeah, look at that. Restrictive module, Abyssal Overlord. So this is a module to be able to unlock one of the abilities of another mask that we will obtain. So yeah, definitely try to explore everything here. Anti-gravity engine core to be able to craft those. And then in this same room as well, because it looks like we reached the end of the dungeon, of course there's a lot more rooms and things to explore, but you'll find one of these where we can just click E and basically press and hold to leave the dungeon. And there we go, we are now teleported back to the entrance of the dungeon, and we can go ahead and board the airship and head over to the first boss fight. So that was basically just giving you guys a brief sense of what you can expect from some of these dungeons or temples, and I think they're very well done. So I'll get my tribe up here, and then I will go ahead and retract the stairs, and we can head on over to the first boss fight area, which is a pyramid that is over in this direction on the map. I believe this one right here. Yes, this ancient pyramid is the first boss fight. So I can just hit V on the map. We can create a little waypoint that tells us exactly where to go so we can see it. And I won't cut too much of this out either because I want you guys to really be able to see the map here as well. It really is beautiful. There's a lot of cool stuff going on, even some islands up in there that we can fly up to and explore. Alright, so we are nearing up on the pyramid now. It is this large one in the center here. And you'll notice we can't get too close to it because as I fly straight here, these pyramids for the boss fights have this invisible barrier preventing us from actually landing or going inside. So we want to sort of fly right outside that invisible barrier. And I think I will land the ship maybe about right here. We'll keep our distance from whatever that is, maybe that little camp over here. I was thinking about landing in the water over there, but it's full of a lot of alligators and stuff. So I think for that purpose, this seems like the best idea. So as long as my tribe is still following me, looks like we're good. I will head down here. Actually, we could use the lower stairs for this. I've got some lower ones for a reason when we are not on a sloped hill or anything. So if we head down here, then I can lower this one. And that is how we can exit the ship. Perfect. So we do have some scorpions in the desert. A few things that actually, while I'm at it, I may want to take out, just so they don't end up boarding the ship or causing any sort of havoc up there that I don't want. I could also activate the shield on the ship, but I'm not too concerned about that just yet. So I'll just take those guys out. Those ones are pretty small. And then we can head over toward the boss fight area. And the arena for this is going to be that big, marshy swamp area that kind of has these ancient ruins around it. So I'll make my way over there. We cannot enter the temple yet, because to enter this pyramid, we have to have fought the boss fight first. Alright, so here we are. This is the arena for the first boss fight. And it's pretty cool. I'm really liking it. We've got sort of this muddy, marshy swamp area. We can fill up on water while we're in here. And there's the pyramid that we will eventually be able to enter. And this is the summoning altar for the boss. And if we go ahead and interact with it here, you can see we have 3 different options to summon the boss. So depending on your awareness strength level, you can summon in different ones which will give you different loot and rewards, which is really, really cool. So you can go back and do this boss again at a higher level if you want to. So I'll start out with the basic one. We have 3 tribesmen here, which is probably a bit overkill actually. You'll see just how quickly we'll be able to take it out with all 3 of them, and then maybe I'll show you a little bit of it solo, just so you can get a sense of that as well. So I'll start with this first one. We need premium fresh meat, beast bones, beast blood, and the warship container. And then I'll go ahead and hold E to summon it. And here we go. I've got bandages. I'm feeling good. We get a little animation. It is basically a massive alligator-looking boss. This is pretty cool. All right, so there it is, right over there. And this is what we have to take out. So this boss is Sobek, I believe that's how I pronounce it. And I could use my bow from a distance. As soon as we start walking up close to it, it's going to aggro. There it goes. Just rolling out of its way. They created that red circle around us that we cannot leave until the boss fight is done. So you'll see between all of my NPCs, they're taking it out pretty quick. But it's doing a lot of damage. So as long as we just keep rolling out of the way, all of that good stuff. Using the special attacks on the spears, making sure it doesn't charge at us. Avoid the spin with its tail, because that's going to do a lot of damage. My NPCs are pretty high level, so they should manage it just fine here. Yeah, it's already almost half health. Alright, so that lightning actually, we need to get away. That lightning, look at what it does. That almost killed me. It removed all of the water with that lightning. And now we really have to bandage, so... No, NPCs, don't come after me. Go fight it. I got a bandage here, quick. That's why it's useful to have the tribesmen to help you out a bit here. So they are set to more of like a passive-ish mode, where they'll... Oh my goodness. Where they'll kind of take it out as I start fighting it as well, or as it starts fighting them. Look at this, though. It like slows us down in the mud here. It really starts making it difficult near the end of the boss fight here. Oh my goodness. Alright. Let's try to get a couple hits. Oh wow, alright. So I'm in its mouth right now. It just bit down on me and chucked me around. Alright, it's doing something there. I better avoid that. Okay, that's a lot of fire. So it creates like a whole fire tornado. Kind of interesting to do this part at night, I suppose. Alright, let's try to get some more damage on it. There we go, that was good. That was really good. Now we gotta back off and bandage a little bit. Alright, let my tribesmen distract it a little bit over in that side. Alright. We've got one of them distracting it. Oh, he was pretty parried there. Alright. Let's try and get some spear hits on it. Roll out of the way. So it's not too bad when you've got a team helping you take it out. Alright, it's doing the fire here. Let's just get out of the way of that. And here we go. Its tail fell off. It's stunned. I think we got it. Amazing. Alright. So now I'll show you what it's like to fight it solo. It's definitely a bit more difficult. And before we summon it, the big thing that we want to do solo is really utilize the mask ability of the Celestial Wings mask. So I'm going to press C and activate that so that at any moment in the boss fight, we can always press V and be able to fly around if we have to bandage or anything along those lines. And make sure that you have plenty of the sunstones in your hotbar. So we have the sunstones here in my hotbar, so I can continuously replenish the energy as I fight the boss. So that's an easier way to do it. We'll go ahead and hold E again, summon it a second time, just the standard baseline version again. And you can use the bow as well as a spear. I really like the spear because we have a little bit of distance and it does a lot of damage. So there we go. There's the boss. I'll start by doing it just by foot before we try to fly around. I'll go ahead and get some damage in on it. Just try to roll out of the way. Oop, you can see there, because we don't have any of our tribesmen distracting, it's a bit tricky. So we can use that little space that we had to just bandage. It is absolutely brutal. Alright. I'll try to take it out again. Alright, just keep rolling every time it tries to do the little slam attack there. Oh goodness. Alright. Every time it chomps down is the hard stuff. So right now I'm regenning fast enough because we did just take a bandage. Oh my goodness, so it just stunned me there, you can see, in the middle of its whirlwind. And we really have to get out of here just to bandage up. So I'm going to do the flying ability. And I'm going to bandage. Keep an eye on it though, because it actually does have an attack where it will lunge up at you even if you're flying in the air. So for a little bit, I'm going to stay up here. And we can even use the bow to shoot it. Do a little bit of damage that way while we're flying and get out of here because it's doing its lightning attack there that's going to instantly burn us. Yep, already burned us pretty bad, even up in the air here. All right, get the bandage on. We need to be back down here so we're in the water so we stop being caught on fire. All right, so yeah, the end of the boss fight definitely gets a little bit more tricky when you're solo. We'll just keep damage on it. It is half health now, which is good. We're doing okay here. As long as we keep getting some bow shots in on it. And then pretty frequently, like right now, would be a good time for me to go ahead and use up another few sunstones to keep my energy up so that I don't accidentally drop out of the sky. Alright, let's keep shooting it there. Alright, so I'm fully healed now. I could go back down and do a little bit more on foot. Looks like it's a little bit stuck on the very edge. There we go. We pretty much got it. It's stunned and on the ground like it was last time. Alright, so there you have it. That is my recommendation for fighting it solo, is just using your mask to your advantage. To use the fly ability if you ever need to back away and heal. And we can collect its tail here, drops a tail, and then use a butcher knife, hack away at it, and it gives us a bunch of stuff. Some crystals, the Sobek crocodile mark, the bleeding mod, all kinds of cool things, as well as the key so that we can actually go ahead and enter the pyramid. All right, so we'll climb up here. And right where the pharaohs are sitting, there's a big door right in the center here. And now that we've fought the boss, we can enter using the lost Sobek mark that we obtained from fighting the boss. And this one is a pretty peaceful pyramid. I don't think this one has any mobs in it. You'll have a glyph there at the start. And then we can go all the way to the end, and this is the main room that you will find a whole bunch of goodies in. So I'll open some of these chests, show you what you'll get from them. All the surrounding ones will have a whole bunch of crystals, all of that good stuff. We will have a mask or the stone table here to interact with. Whole bunches of chests with gems. We'll interact with that one. And this one here as well, check it out. Has the power crystals, the marine anti-gravity skid, small wings, small anti-gravity engines. So this pyramid is what you need to do. You have to do this boss fight, and this is how you will make your first flying airship in the game. This is how you'll take your little starter boat that you're given at the start of the game and actually make it fly. So this is a very exciting milestone in the grand scheme of things for the game. You'll also have some hulers, slates in here, all kinds of things that are used for good stuff. And then this is also one of the most important bits of this boss fight. Check it out. We get another mask. So this is the Abyssal Overlord mask. We can go ahead and take that, and then I'll interact with the stone table here so that I can show you the abilities of the Abyssal Overlord mask. So I have upgraded it a bit, but this mask essentially is really, really great for combat. You'll notice the Celestial Wings mask was amazing for exploration and all because we could fly around, but the Abyssal Overlord is awesome for combat because if you look at some of the perks that you unlock as you upgrade and repair the mask, you'll have tidal mode, so after entering mimicry mode, a tide is triggered every 20 seconds. The tides can block up to 3 attacks when activated and will recede after 10 seconds. So basically, it blocks a whole lot of damage. Increases damage as water damage here, increases self-defense, by 5 up to 20 stacks. So it's a really nice mask for attacking and combat. And if we just press F, we can transfer our awareness to this new mask. And then if we want to transform with it, I'll go ahead and press C so you guys can see what we look like with the Abyssal Overlord mask. I really love how they give like a cosmetic with each one. And then if we press V, basically the special ability for this mask, if I go ahead and interact with this table again, is this last one, the Fluid Prison. So we can transform into fluid water only to imprison 10 enemies in front of you for 5 seconds. Imprisoned targets continuously lose health per second. So this is a really nice ability, and this is basically the special ability of this mask. So while it's active, I can press V, and you'll see here, we just summon a massive pool of liquid, and I will try this on some enemies, so you guys can see what that looks like a little later on in this video. But that is the new mask in a nutshell, and this will be the one I use for our next boss fight. I'm only doing 2 boss fights for the sake of this video, but there are 4 new masks that can be obtained in this new DLC, just so that you guys know. But with that, I will make my way up to the airship, and we can head to the second boss fight. Alright, we are back on the ship now, and I am ready to go to fight the second boss, Anubis. And Anubis can be found in the pyramid quite a ways away up here, so I'm going to go ahead and set a marker there. And again, if you're playing the full game in survival, step by step and everything, there will be very in-depth quest lines to tell you what to do and how to do it and all of that. Obviously, this video skips around a lot and just does some of the boss fights for the sake of showing you guys what's possible. But yeah, it does have quite an in-depth quest line with a whole bunch of stuff to do. So I'll go ahead and sail over to that other pyramid, and we can fight the second boss and look at a little bit of scenery along the way. I really like how there's some of these deep canals and rivers, along with some of the shallower kind of like salt lakes and stuff. I really like the way that looks. We even have a tornado off in the distance there of some kind. I haven't actually flown into it or gone that far yet, so I'm a little nervous too. I guess I'll have to be careful. But I definitely can't wait to keep doing this, and if you guys do want to see a full playthrough of this, then do be sure to comment below, and I will definitely consider adding it to the channel and doing a full survival playthrough from scratch. So here is the second pyramid for the Anubis boss fight. As with the first, we do have an invisible barrier there around it, so I think I'm going to land right about here. This seems like a good place. Alright, here we go. We have landed, and my tribe and I are ready to go. So let's head over to the arena. And by the way, we all are equipped with steel gear, because that's the gear that you would normally use if you're doing this fight. So the last one was bronze, this time it's steel. And this is a much more difficult boss fight, so I am bringing all 3. And all 3 in this case, I honestly don't think is overkill. But you can also bring your friends along if you'd like. This game is multiplayer along with the base game, and that can make things like this much easier and more fun. So it looks like we have some jackals over here to take care of first. We'll go ahead and use these. There we go. Quick work. That'll be good. And now this one, rather than being a swamp, is much more of a deserty scene. So we'll see where the summoning altar is relative to all of these stone pillars. This is quite the place. It looks like it's right smack dab in the center there. So we'll see what this one requires. Alright, so just like the last one, this one requires the same things. We need premium fresh meat, beast bone, beast blood, and a worship container, and we have indeed 3 levels as well that we can take out. So let's summon in the first level of Anubis here. I'm going to press and hold E, and hopefully I'll be ready. And try to use this new mask as well. There he is. Alright. Oh my goodness. Creates like a full-on sandstorm and everything. So I may try to use my bow on this one. Let's see if we can kind of lure him in over here. There we go. Good. Alright. So as soon as we get the hit, now he's aggro, and hopefully all of my tribesmen will fight their best, and we can get Anubis out. This one, like I said, is very, very challenging. It's not an easy boss fight. It does a lot of zaps and all kinds of craziness, so I definitely do not recommend doing this one solo if you can avoid it. So just trying to roll every time it spins around, using all three of them. They're also equipped with steel bows, so they can shoot it from a distance, and we can really utilize these pillars. But as you can see, it breaks these pillars, even leaves invisible versions of itself behind. It just teleports everywhere, which is very difficult. All right, so I'm just kind of rolling, getting some hits in on it, rolling, and I'm going to go ahead and activate the mask now so that we have that ability going for us. All right, go ahead and roll there. That's fantastic. Dealt some damage back there. And now I'm going to use the mask ability. There we go. It's great that we can actually use our mask abilities against the bosses, because in a lot of games it feels like sometimes your special abilities and stuff are kind of useless against boss fights. But in this game, man, that really makes a difference. And I'm actually feeling like I can do this fight. Again, just timing it, timing the rolling. I have done this fight a few times to practice here. It is not an easy one, but we're doing okay. We got him. There we go. So that was actually a pretty quick fight. Like I said, my villagers are pretty geared up here. All my tribespeople with top-of-the-line steel gear, as well as myself. I have the mask fully leveled up and everything, so it will be a little harder for you when you take them out. But that didn't go too bad. And we can use the butcher knife again. Hack him up, get some stuff from that one. And similar to the other boss, we got some goodies, some Anubis hide here. The Hound Mark, which is what we'll need to get into the pyramid. So let's do that next. We can go head up to the pyramid. All right, there's the big door of this one. And we are now inside. So again, similar, there are no mobs in here. It is pretty straightforward. We just head to the very end, and just like the last one, we will have the stone table, a bunch of chests, and I will show you guys what's in these ones, in case there's some different goodies here. Again, some more gems, which is great. And then on these little outer chests, we have the Amp's Epitaph copy. Interesting. We got over in that side. And then in this last chest over here, what does this one have? Some more of the Hooler's slates. So that's cool. And then just like the last pyramid with the boss fight, we have ourselves another mask over here. The Doomsday Judgment mask. So I'll go ahead and take that one and then show you the stats of it on the stone table here. So here is the Doomsday Judgment mask, and this one is really great at protecting you and using its judgment to reduce bad effects. And you can see with all of these masks as well, we can insert those gems into them. So right here, for example, the stamina gem we found earlier, I can go ahead and insert those. I have gone ahead and repaired and upgraded this a bunch to get all of its special abilities. But you can see here, for example, recover a certain amount of HP when a creature dies within 20 meters radius, collects data in real time and simulates it. When the user has no bandage healing effect, the target can simulate the bandage healing effect that they possess. And then, of course, the final judgment effect is the big one we can use by pressing V. So attempts to annihilate up to 10 humanoid targets in a vicinity. Targets with less than 25% health will be instantly annihilated, while other targets that are not annihilated will have their attack power reduced by 10% for 10 seconds. I mean, these are some awesome, awesome effects. So I'm going to go ahead and transfer my awareness to this mask. Here's how it looks on, and let's see what I look like when we do the transform. Ooh, I love that. The fiery animation and fiery eyes. This might be one of my favorite ones. Look at that. That is super cool. And then again, if we press V, since it's all repaired and upgraded, that has the ability to annihilate targets and enemies. and again, just reduce bad effects and everything, so it's constantly sort of pinging and using Judgment to help you, which is really, really cool. So now what do you say? Let's go find a camp real quick before I take out an airship, and we could use these masks to see how they perform against other enemies. Alright, I am coming up on a little ruins here, and I'm going to go ahead and activate the Doomsday Judgment mask, and let's see what we can do. Alright, so let's try it on this one maybe. I'm going to press V. Oh my gosh, look at that. The scales are above its head. That one's got a big hammer there too. And there you go. It just completely died. Given it took a hit or two from my NPCs as well. But this is insane. And the cooldown on this is super quick. So we can literally just keep using its ability to annihilate enemies. So there's this one, and again, just drops dead after a period of time. That is awesome. So yeah, this mask is crazy powerful, and especially with these easy ruins. I am sort of near the starter area still as well here. But yeah, this is amazing. So we'll just use the ability on him, and boom, drops dead. That is awesome. All right, so let's try another mask, shall we? Let's do the Abyssal Overlord. So I'll go ahead and equip this one. This one is the one that does the water prison. Or the liquid prison. So let me go ahead and activate this one, and we'll try to go up to another enemy and see what we can do with its special ability. So we've got a couple over here. Let's press V, and boom. Oh my gosh, look at that. It freezes them in place with the water. Just freezes them in place so that my tribesmen and all of that can get a bunch of hits in. This one does actually have like a 30-second cooldown, which makes sense because it's pretty powerful. But yeah, we will have to wait on this one. Looks like another 10 seconds, so maybe we'll try it on one of them inside. Yeah, we'll try it on one of these guys. And there we go, cooldown's over. All right, let's do it. Frozen in space, and my NPCs, or myself, and just completely obliterate them. And you saw there as well, the water took their health down to almost half health as they were frozen in place. So that is really awesome. And then of course, the Celestial Wings has the ability to fly. That is the main ability of that mask, which is obviously a really great one for exploration and everything. Alright, so now I think it's time to attempt to take out an airship using the absolute tanker of an airship that I built in my last video here. So you can see up in the distance there are some airships flying around, kind of circling these ruins. So I'm gonna go up there and see what they are and maybe try to take out one of the little ones that's kind of escorting the big one. I'm not entirely sure if we will be able to take out the big one, but I guess we'll just see. You know, this will just be for fun, is kind of my attitude here. So I have some ballistas. I have a tribesperson appointed to this ballista. We also have another one on the front of the ship right here. So we've got that ballista, and then in the very lower level here, I have some tribespeople appointed to some cannons here that are loaded with ammo, pointed in that direction. So I'll be sure to pull up on the ship in that direction, and we'll see what kind of damage we can do. And then the one last thing is I want to put my protective shield back, and I do have that in my inventory here. The protective shield here. And the reason I took it out and took it down temporarily was because it's having a lot of bugs right now to where it stays active all the time and keeps burning through fuel unless I destroy it. But I have reported this to the developers, and they did confirm that they will fix it for the official launch of the game, which is great news. But now that that is active, you can see here we have a little bubble, little blue bubble there around our ship. Now that's a very small bubble, so I'm going to go here and hold it and then adjust the size, and the maximum size here should be enough to just barely cover our ship. And you can obviously use multiples of them if they aren't quite big enough, but that looks perfect. So we have the shields active and everything ready to go. And I think with that, let's go try to get an airship up here. I have no idea what to expect, honestly. They might have shields as well and all of that. And again, this can be PvP as well. You could have multiple people playing on a server, and you could do airship PvP if you wanted to. But let's pull up alongside one of these small ones. Our ship is so fast. This is amazing. So I'm just going to, oh yeah, they all three have shields. So I'm gonna kind of pull up alongside, maybe something like that. Yep. Oh, there we go. My ship is starting to fire at the little guy here. I think I want to just concentrate it on this little one. I don't think I want to bother the big one. So we have to actively stay kind of right here in order to keep them from moving. Ah, now we get some battle music. This is actually really cool. Oh my goodness. Let's go see what's going on. So we've got our people firing the ballistas. That is amazing. See the front one here in action. This one is aimed toward the larger ship. I kind of want them aimed toward the smaller one, but that's okay. Maybe I could just decrease the range. So we could go in here, go to attack range, and maybe do 50 meters. And then let's see if that now refocuses. Well, actually, we may need to actually go 100 meters. Okay, there we go. Now it's going to attack the smaller one here instead of going quite so far. Oh my goodness. This is an absolute war zone. Check it out. Oh my gosh. Another thing too, though, is our shield is getting damage. So I should check on its health. You can see there we are still, well, we're actually still at 12,000 out of 12,000. So it looks like it's regenerating just about as fast as it took damage. And you can see from our cannon shots, we have now destroyed the shields of the larger ship, the Shark class one, as well as the smaller ship. So now, as long as I'm not taking too much damage, which I am a little bit, damage will still happen through our shield. So you can see if I go to the lower level here, we are taking some damage on our cannons, especially, and on the sidewall of the ship. Yeah, you can see their durability is 14,400 out of 16,000. But these things are durable as heck. They will last through multiple battles. Same thing with our walls. Our walls are actually holding up pretty well. I think they're just targeting our cannons there. Oh my gosh. This is awesome. Look at that. So I'm just going to try to get that ship low. Try to get some of the people on the ship dead with our cannons and ballistas, because that's actually a lot of people on there. I don't know if I can actually take that many initially. But what we can do is get up to the top deck here, and I can use my bow and start slowly picking them off that way from in here, now that their shield is down especially. Yeah, let's do this. So I'll just keep firing ballistas at them, keep shooting my bow at them, and getting them pretty low. I think I gotta wait till it's fully, there we go. Now we're doing some serious damage. Wait till it's fully drawn back so we can get our aim to be really precise, get some headshots in on them. And then we will board the ship once there are a little bit fewer of them. Oh my goodness, I just got fired with a cannon. That took a lot of my health down. All right, so that's exactly what I'm trying to do with them, basically. I'm trying to get them to die from my cannons and ballistas. But imagine one of these airships, like imagine that Shark class ship, but like 4 times, 5 times the size, just decked out with farms, a whole-on village, and tons of ballistas, cannons. I mean, you can go absolutely nuts with this game. All right, so we have now destroyed all of their ballistas. It's now just a matter of getting some more of these tribespeople out to lower their numbers to be a little more even, like mine, because these tribespeople are like level 50 or above. These are very high level, so I'm going to need them taken out a little bit more. It's not as easy as the starting area anymore. So let's get a few more of them, but at least now we're not getting a bunch of cannon shots and ballista shots fired at our ship. Alright, so you can now see that I have taken out quite a few of their guys. They still have one ballista in the very back that is operational. Unfortunately, I can't quite hit that far with my bow, but I've picked off a lot of the little ones kind of surrounding, and it looks like it's a bit clearer over there for us to try to drop in. So I'm going to try to patrol my ship, get it a little bit closer, and then another thing, before dropping in, we want to be sure I'm on the Celestial Wings one, because we might need to do some flying around for this one here. So I'm going to go above them here. I'm gonna kind of scooch in this way, and we're going to try to make my ramp so that it goes down on their ship here. So let me go ahead and lower a little bit, maybe a little bit higher, and deploy my ramp, and we'll see what happens here. If I'm actually able to get close enough. Does that go down to their ship? It does. Okay. Oh my goodness. So I have to be really careful in here. All right, we're going to activate and activate the wings as well. Start flying around. And let's go in and fight some of these guys. We've got one under the bridge here. We also have their shields here, which are not taking a whole lot of damage from me. They'll kind of zap and everything like that, so we can kind of stay safe inside these chambers from the shields. You can see there, my team will try to take care of them. So we do have a door down there that we can't open. We have some boxes down here, actually. Let's see what this one's. I feel like I'm just leaving my team alone right now. We have power crystals, mead. Oh my gosh, anti-radiation essence, plant essence, mint water. Oh gosh. All right, we do have one down here. Let's try to fight this guy. They are level 55s. They are not taking much damage. All right, you'll just try to roll away. There we go, perfect. The more individuals we can pick off, the better. If we can kind of make it around here without triggering them as much. Yeah, here we go. Oh boy, we're getting the ballistas from the top one there. Let's see what we got in this one. And I am taking a bunch of hits. I went ahead and gave myself some crazy premium armor just so we could try this out for fun. Just so we could try it out for fun. Otherwise, though, yeah, this would be a very late game sort of a thing with how many we have. You can see we just have more that keep boarding, and it is just nuts what we've got going on over here. But check it out. We pretty much successfully did it. We have one more chest as well that is right over here that I didn't open, that I would like to see what's in here. Looks like we're safe in here for a little bit. Ooh, another small anti-gravity engine core, steel bolts, cannon shells, large power crystals, energy crystals, 38 of them, steel ballista projectiles, yellow crystals. Yeah, so very premium loot, and you can only imagine that endgame, when you try to take out the big tanker over there and all of the ships, this thing has got to have some crazy, crazy good loot. So anyway, I just figured I would do that for fun, to show you guys what it's like to have an airship battle in the sky. And I think it's definitely pretty cool. That literally took almost an entire day in Soulmask to get this tiny little ship down to the point where we could effectively raid it. So with that, I do hope you enjoyed this video. I had a ton of fun, and so far this game seems really well done. And of course, it's coming from a dev team who really cares about their audience, and the fact that it's free for the first month as well is awesome. So definitely be sure to check it out through the link in the description. And also check out my previous video where I built this entire airship from scratch, because the building and village management and all of that in this game is definitely top tier as well. And of course, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next time. Cheers.